Now one is to cut off ties with them, and the other is maintaining ties with them. Is there a difference? Yes. Cutting off ties means, I don't know you, you don't know me. Maintaining ties is what? That because they are your relatives, you meet them every so often, you speak to them every so often. When you go visit them, you take something for them. You give a gift to them when you visit them. This is what? Maintaining ties with relatives. Is that important? That is also important. Why? Because we human beings need one another. We cannot live independently. We cannot live alone. Because we go through times of happiness and grief. And at these times, we need the support of other people. Especially that of our close relatives. So that is also essential. Alright? And that is what keeps human beings human. That is what creates love and affection for other people in our hearts. So it's very important that if you have relatives living around you in this city, in this country, visit them, meet them, talk to them. And if they're not in this country, they're abroad, then still make the effort to talk to them every so often, or at least visit them every so often, whatever is possible. Now one problem. A person might say, I try to be good with my relatives, but they're so evil with me. This is why I hate them. Have you heard such words? Yes. They're so mean to me. I gave them a gift, they never gave me a gift. I visit them every 2 years, they never visit me. I go and stay with them, they never come and stay with me. I invite them over for meals, they never come. They never invite me. I send gifts for their children, they don't even know the names of my children. Is that possible? Yes, it is possible. So is it justified in this case to cut off ties with them? Or to not maintain relationships with them? Is it? But if you meet them, you're going to be hurt. Then why is it justified? The Prophet ﷺ said that al-wasil, I'm paraphrasing the hadith, al-wasil, meaning the one who joins relation, is not the one who maintains good ties with his relatives, that if they're good to him, he's good to them. But rather al-wasil is the one who, when his relatives cut off from him, he joins his ties with them. That those who are mean to you, you are good to them. Those who cut off from you, you join with them. This is what we are commanded to do. And this is a hadith which is in Sahih Bukhari. Another hadith tells us that a man came to the Prophet ﷺ and he said that I have relatives with whom I try to have close relationship, but they sever this relation. I try to meet them, I try to be good with them, but they always cut off from me. It's like, I try to take the initiative, but they always ignore me. They always keep a distance from me. I try to talk to them, but they're so cold. I try to talk to them, but they don't, have a conversation with me. I treat them well, but they treat me ill. I am good to them, but they are harsh towards me. So the Prophet ﷺ said, if it is so as you say, then you in fact throw hot ashes. Basically you're the winner. And there would always remain with you on behalf of Allah an angel to support you. There would always remain with you on behalf of Allah some support against them, who would keep you dominant over them so long as you adhere to this path of righteousness. So as long as you do this, Allah's help will always be with you. This is why it's worth it. Do you all know about the names of your uncles and aunts? Their children, your cousins. Do you know? I'll give you a homework. I actually want this to be followed up in groups. And if possible, inshallah, I will try to assign marks to this, to make sure every single one of you do it. Make a family tree. If you have children, make a family tree with your children. If you have siblings, get them involved as well. Know who your relatives are. How far back? Obviously, the extended family can be huge, right? You can have grandparents, you can have great-grandparents, but at least your parents, their children, so your brothers and sisters, their children, your uncles and aunts, their spouses, their children, at least this much. And if you do have other relatives who are alive, even if they're very distant, and you know them, you are on terms with them, meaning you meet one another every now and then, so children should also know how you are related with them. For example, a distant aunt. Children have no idea who this distant aunt is. They should know who she is. Your grandmother's cousin, for example. So make sure you do this, inshallah. Okay. The question is that what if you got in a fight with your friend and so you don't talk to them. Is that also wrong? Yes, it is wrong. Because مَا أَمَرَ اللَّهُ بِهِ أَن يُوصَلْ, Allah has not just told us to maintain ties with our relatives, but He has also created a bond of brotherhood, sisterhood between believers. We are supposed to maintain friendship with who? Our brothers and sisters in Islam. Which is why we see that if a person ends up in a fight with another believer and does not speak to them, he's not allowed to not speak to them for more than 3 days. Your fight cannot go beyond 3 days. Okay? Remember, there are different levels of friendship. Someone is a best buddy with you. Another is not that close with you. But doesn't mean that when they pass by you, you don't look at them. When you see them, you don't say salam to them. No, you should. We have to maintain this tie. So يَقْطَعُونَ مَا أَمَرَ اللَّهُ بِهِ أَن يُوصَلْ. What's the next attribute? That they create fasad in the earth. If you think about it, fasad fil ard, this is a result of what? Breaking promise with Allah, disobeying Allah, and severing bonds of kinship. It leads to fasad fil ard. Such people, what are they? Losers. They think that they're winners, but in reality, what are they? Losers.
الذين ينقضون عهد الله من بعد ميثاقه ويقطعون ما أمر الله به أن يوصل ويفسدون في الأرض أولئك هم الخاسرون.